Hey guys! Welcome back to our key related video. With GMK prices soaring high and wait times getting longer, mechanical keyboard enthusiasts are now looking at other vendors that might suffice their keycap needs, such as MW, ePBT, and clones recently. Today, we'll be looking at Taihao's Vintage Caramel keycaps and comparing them to other competing brands to see if it's a great option for the budget market. These keycap sets were sent over by Taihao for review, but that will not affect our statements and opinions in any way. Opening a simple black box, we first see a plastic cover for the keycaps. This is then followed by a small sticker indicating that it is the Vintage Caramel set. Next up is the first layer of the keycaps, which are neatly organized in a foam board. The next layer of keycaps has the extra keys needed to support other layouts, as well as an extra rubber keycap, two Taihao branded keycaps, as well as a plastic keycap puller. Unlike ePBT and GMK, which are cherry profile, these Taihao keycaps are OEM profile. This profile is most commonly found on budget boards with north-facing PCBs, as they avoid any problems with interference. Height-wise, they're about the same as ASA keycaps, but have the scalp of cherry profile, just a bit taller. This keycap profile are great for those who have budget boards with north-facing PCBs, or for those who are upgrading from their own stock OEM keycaps. To compare, here are ASA keycaps, cherry profile keycaps, and others as well. Besides supporting the standard ANSI layout up to the numpad, this keycap set offers more than my old Taihao Dark Knight set. It has improved in kitting drastically, now offering 1.5 view, control and alt keys for HHKB and WKL. But weirdly, no 7U spacebar. Rather, on the kit you get a 6U one. ISO enter and multiple step caps locks are also present, as well as multiple size shift keys. The only problem with this kitting is that it still lacks proper navigation keys for a 65 and 75% users. We are forced to use page down and page up keys on the R2 and R3, and that's disappointing. If Taihao really wants to join the budget crowd of good keycaps, this must be their main priority, providing R1 and R2 support for page up and page down. At least, with an exploded layout like the Tom 680, it's not that visible. Other than that, the kit also offers blank R1 keys, blank R4 keys, as well as alternative keycaps for other languages. This is made out of ABS, and the legends are double shot, just like ePBT and GMK. This means Taihao is able to make the colors of the keycaps as well as the legends saturated, and it really shows on both of my sets as well as their other sets. Unlike with PBT, where it's only dye sublimated, these keycaps can really make a black colorway black, just like on my Dark Knight set. But otherwise, just like GMK, this will shine far quicker than PBT. And I did put that into the test. My Taihao Dark Knight keycaps is heavily used on my RK61 for over 7 months now. But other than my spacebar being a little glossy, the alphas and mods are still intact, showing no signs of wear. Pretty great in my opinion. So far so good, right? Great legends, great colors, a bit disappointed with the kitting, but overall quite good. Now, we're going to my major gripe with these keycaps. A deal breaker for me is that the keycaps are too thin, thus providing a stock keycap-like sound. Don't get me wrong, they're quite great keycaps for the price. I just wish Taihao, on their future revisions, could have thickened the walls for it to provide a better sound signature. With my caliper, I measured the keycaps to be 0.9mm thin, on average. With my ePBT set, they are 1.3 to 1.5mm, and with my PBT clones, they're 1.3mm thick. If you weren't aware, a thicker keycap will usually tend to have a better sound. We'll get to the sound of this later, but for now, let's talk about the legends. Moving on from the negatives, the legends here are sharp and concise, because of the double shot process. I believe these molds came from an old vintage board, and I quite like the simple design they have. Mods are texicons, meaning they both have text and icons, while alphas are aligned to the top left of the keycap, with an Arial looking font. It's quite similar to GMK, albeit with a different icon, and with a thinner typeface. You could also add Japanese characters into the mix. This includes front and side laser printing. If I were to choose between this and the ePBT, I choose this any day of the week, because unlike ePBT, the alignments and sizes, as well as the thickness of these legends, are consistent with each other, which makes for a better look in my opinion. Coming up is a sound test of the keycaps on my Tom 680 with an acrylic plate and loop gutter on blacks. We'll also be comparing it to the ASA keycaps as a reference for the same height but thicker keycap. As you can hear, the thinness of the keycaps is really prevalent. Not only that, the spacebar has a weird twing sound that you might or might not like. Let's now try and compare this with my ePBT set on the Mod 007. Overall, for a portable keycap set that happens to be ABS, double shot, and not a clone, I can only recommend this keycap set if and only if you know the cons and are willing to take it. Cons such as the kitting problems, as well as the thickness. If you have a north-facing keyboard, or a desire for different colorways, or even just want to try ABS for a change, then I could honestly say that you could give this a shot. It may have issues, but it's unique in the sense that it's ABS and double shot, and it's the only set out in the market that are competing with the price range of cheap dye subclones. It may not live up to the standards of ePBT and GMK, but it sure covers a niche that the two can't handle. So, what are your thoughts on the keycaps? What kind of keycaps do you want me to review next? Like and subscribe to see more keyboard contests like this. But that's been it. I'm John J. Villanueva, and I'll see you in the next video.